Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. Okay, ladies, we are talking about 5 habits of the woman whose man prioritizes her. And I think some of these are going to catch you by surprise. So without further ado, let's just hop into our list today. Number 1, she does not over communicate things that he should already know. Ladies, when you are starting to date, when you are meeting men, there is a baseline that they need to have in order to be able to date you. And the reason that you want to have this baseline is because there are certain things that they need to have for themselves that you should not have to teach them. When it comes to how to operate with a woman, when it comes to how they address you, when it comes to different standards that they implement when they are dating a woman, there's certain things that they should already have baseline without you having to tell them a thing. And so the woman who is prioritized, she only picks men who know that baseline already. So she does not have to over communicate the basics. When you get to repeating the basics to a man and having to give him repeated instruction, a lot of times we get looked at as nagging. A lot of times we get looked at as a woman that is begging for something or trying to force someone to do something that they don't naturally do. And to avoid that, you choose men who already understand your baseline. They already understand those must-haves. They already have a standard for how they're going to treat the woman that they are with anyways, so that these simple things, we don't have to worry about it, okay? And the way that you avoid having to over communicate what he already knows is by making sure we are choosing the men who already know how to treat a woman well. We don't want to teach them that, right? Communication matters, and yes, we want to give them insight into us, but there are certain things that you want him to know for himself so that you never ever have to teach them to him, okay? You want him to know these things regardless of who he's talking to. You want there to be some kind of baseline that he sticks to in knowing how to treat a woman so that you don't have to over communicate. Number 2, she is emotionally regulated, okay? So she does not feel the need to create chaos to feel chosen. Ladies, I don't know if you have ever been in a situation yourself or have known someone in a situation where they are doing things like testing men to see if they are actually going to choose them. For example, I know women personally who will send someone into their man's DM on purpose to try to see if he's going to do the right thing, right? They're doing things to test him. They're doing things to test him so they can reassure themselves. They're forcing interactions with him and other women just to see if he'll do the right thing. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? Men are not meant to be tested in this way. If you are going to be a woman who is around a masculine man, especially the ladies who are with men in power, oh, that's a whole different breed. You have to be able to be emotionally regulated being with masculine men, okay? You have to be able to know that regardless of the men you're already chosen, you already have an inner peace. You already know that you are that girl, and you don't have to do all of these things to feel validated. You're not looking for that extra reassurance time and time again because you're reassured of yourself. You're assured of yourself in the first place. You don't actually need proof that he's going to choose you. You don't need proof that he is going to do the right thing by you, because whether he does or he doesn't, you're still chosen. You're still that girl. You're still regulated. Okay, you still have control of your emotions. And so you do not want to be putting little tests and different things like that in place in order to validate yourself. If you are in a situation or a mind space where you feel the need to constantly have outer reassurance, you may not be ready for the actual masculine men that we talk about on this channel. I want you to sit down and get very sure of yourself. Do some work, do some inner work, talk to God and figure out your purpose and figure out who he says you are, so that when it comes time for you to be with the man, when it comes time for you to be with the masculine man, you're not playing these little silly games trying to make sure that he thinks you're good enough. right, ladies, that he's going to choose you, that he won't pick anyone else over you, that he won't cheat on you. You won't do all of these different little things trying to reassure yourself over and over, because that's games, ladies. And you are emotionally regulated as a woman who gets prioritized. You are used to being prioritized, which means you're emotionally regulated enough to not have to do that. Because I'm going to tell you another thing. The best thing you can do to be a prioritized woman by other people is to prioritize yourself so that you get used to the feeling. Okay, ladies? Number 3, she does let him lead, but not at the expense of her standards. Ooh, this is touchy, right? Because when we are dating, in relationship, or in some kind of romantic setting with a man, as feminine women, we do want to give him the floor to lead. This is why, once again, your choices are important, ladies. I know we don't like to hear choose better men and all that kind of stuff, but your choices are important, because once you give the man the floor to lead, you want someone who's going to lead you in a way that does not compromise your standards. I know so many women who, listen, they're feminine women, but for some reason they just kind of choose the wrong guy, and they try to give him leadership, and ladies, that man is leading her into the pits. It's creating confusion, it's inconsistent, it's creating stress, it's putting her in unsafe environments, it's putting her around people who are not really for her. It's doing all of these things, his leadership. And ladies, if this man's leadership is compromising your standards, that is one of the best ways to know that he is not your masculine man. His leadership should not diminish your lifestyle. His leadership should not diminish what you want for yourself. His leadership should not have you living in a way that you would not give to yourself. Okay, ladies, lifestyle alignment is very important when we talk about who we let lead us. He needs to be able to lead you into something that is in line with what you're already used to, or better. Okay, but don't get in a situation where his leadership is taking you down. Okay, there's nuance in this. And so, yes, we want men to be able to lead us. We want to give them the floor to be able to do that, and let them make decisions, and let them kind of take us where they see our future going. But at the same time, there is a standard for his leadership. He can't just do anything and you say, okay. You get what I'm saying, ladies? So the woman who gets prioritized, she understands that, yes, I want my man to lead, but I'm not going to let him lead me down. Right? I'm not going to let a man lead me who's going to lessen me. I'm not going to let a man lead me who's going to have my life all jacked up. I'm not going to let a man lead me and it ends me up in a situation that's worse than if I was to just be on my own. Okay, ladies, she's not going to follow that leadership, and she's going to realize that that is not the man for her. Okay, so she allows leadership from her man, but not at the expense of her standards. Number four is a big one. The woman who is prioritized does not perform femininity in order to make him stay. This is a big one. I cannot tell you how many women reach out to me, ask me questions, email me about different ways that they can perform femininity in order to make someone else act right. Ladies, I'm going to tell you this. Your femininity, first of all, is not about another person, okay? Your femininity is all about how you interact with you, how you present out. Are you being the woman that you feel like you're called to be? How do you make yourself feel good about self-trust? All of these different things are about you. And when you decide that you are going to perform femininity in order to get someone else to act right, you have already messed up, because there is nothing in the world that can make another person act right if they already have it in them that they don't want to. Okay, I make videos sometimes and I'm like, habits of a woman who gets anything she wants, habits of a woman whose man is obsessed with her. And I will get women in the comments who say, you can do all of these things and he'll still cheat. The reason that you're saying that is because you want me to give you some advice that's going to make him react to you and not do these other things, and you want to perform femininity to get him to do something. If you thinking like that, you already on the wrong channel. You've already started off incorrectly. Nothing about your femininity is a performance in order to get someone to act right. Okay? Your femininity comes from the fact that I'm doing this for me. I feel good when I do this. I feel fulfilled when I do this. It feels good in relationship when I do this. But at any moment, if that situation was to end, I'm still going to do this. It's not about doing it for him. He just gets the benefit of it. Right, ladies? And so the reality is, whoever walks away, it does not matter, because you have self-trust. You have trust in God. And it's not because your femininity is going to make him behave perfectly. It's because your femininity is going to fulfill you. And whoever comes and whoever goes can do just that. Right, ladies? You don't perform femininity in order to get a reaction from someone else, in order to get a result from someone else. You are feminine because it fulfills you. You are feminine because that's what you're called to be. You are feminine because it enhances your life. It makes things easier on you. You can move throughout the world in a better way. That's what it's for. And so the woman who gets prioritized, she actually has femininity for herself. She does not perform it for someone else. And she has that femininity whether he is there acting right or whether he's acting crazy and she's kicking him to the curb. She don't perform femininity. And number five is a big one. She watches his actions like a hawk. Okay? She doesn't listen to the words. She watches his actions. And so what I mean by that is not that you're spying and you're running in behind him and you're trying to see what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. No. What I'm saying is, as it pertains to you, you watch how he handles you. Don't listen to all the pretty words that men give you when y'all are dating and courting and stuff. Because one thing a man knows how to do when he is dating us is talk. Because men know exactly what we like, and they gonna give you that story. They gonna give you those butterflies. They gonna give you those feelings. They gonna give you talk of the future. They're gonna give you all of that. They're supposed to. However, the woman who is prioritized, she can hear all of that stuff, but if his actions are not in alignment with his words, she can clock that inconsistency. Okay? She knows that a man who's actually going to prioritize her is the man whose actions actually speak for him. The man who doesn't just say, "Hey, I would have done this. I would, if you would have said something, I would have done that." No. She knows that the actions speak. Okay, so it's not if you would have said anything, the man who wanted to would have. And she knows that. She watches his actions. Okay, she doesn't get hypnotized by his potential and all the pretty words. She looks at his patterns. How does he show up for me? Does he communicate with me? Does he take time out of his day to make sure that I'm good? Is he taking time out of his day so that we can have quality time? Is he having conversations that actually follow up with action? Is he doing the things? Not just talking about them. Is he doing them? She's clocking his patterns. She's clocking his actions. And so although the words are fun to get wrapped up in, and although the words are very pretty and they will have you daydreaming all the daydreams, she knows that that is just talk. Until he puts it into action, it does not matter. Okay, and the woman who gets prioritized, she is going to be looking for action behind her man. She's going to be looking for him to do the things that he says he's going to do, and consistently. This is not a one-off. Oh, he did this one time. No, she's going to look at the actions and pay attention to the man who is consistently doing what he says he's going to do. She's going to look at the man who doesn't put words to it, but instead just fully goes into action. Because there are some men, ladies, have you ever dated a man who was very few words, but he got business taken care of when it came to you. He stepped behind you. If you have ever had a man who didn't say too much, but he just did what needed to be done, please leave that in the comments, because I don't think we talk about that enough. She understands that all those words and all those things he says, a good talker and a charmer, does not mean anything. What are those actions talking about? Okay? The woman who gets prioritized, yeah, she's following in behind action. Okay, ladies, that is so, so, so important, because I feel like so many of us end up in situations with men we should not actually be with because of words. And I want us to pay more attention to that. Okay, ladies, so I hope that this list today really helped you, and I hope that one of these habits just jumps out and says to you, hey, this is what we're going to be working on, okay? With all that being said, you know I'm not leaving you without your verse of the day. We're going to be in Matthew, surprise, surprise, Matthew 7, verse 6. Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. Okay, ladies, so with all that being said, I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in and watching another episode of Get 'em Girl. I hope that y'all have an amazing week, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.